Ladies and gentlemen, if you can please rise as the Livonia Police Department Honor Guard presents the colors and remain standing for the national anthem, Pledge of Allegiance, and invocation. Thank you. And now Hazelette Crosby Robinson will honor America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Thank you, Hazelette. Please remain standing as Christopher Kohoff now leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Christopher. And now, Sister Nancy from Madonna University will lead us in the invocation.
Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has granted us life, love, and laughter, who has sustained us and enabled us to reach this occasion, the inauguration of the newly elected members of our City Council. At this time of year when our Jewish brothers and sisters celebrate Hanukkah, when Christians celebrate the birth of Jesus, when many of African descent celebrate the festival of Kwanzaa, and when all prepare to celebrate a new year, we thank you for these men and women who have chosen to offer themselves in service to our city, and those who have faithfully served us, and those who are willing to continue to serve us. We ask you to continue to bless them with wisdom, generosity, concern for the common good, and willingness to keep building relationships that will benefit our families, to help them live well, and provide resources that foster physical, intellectual, spiritual, and personal growth. Today especially, we pray for our first responders, healthcare workers, and DPW workers who helped us weather the weather we just experienced. We pray that our community will be ready to support our city leaders and be willing to share the responsibility for making Livonia a thriving, caring community. We ask blessings on our families, our business, educational, and service professionals. Bless our state, our nation, our world, and help us to do our part to bring peace and well-being, to make all people feel welcome, and to let love, justice, and hope guide our actions. We place our trust in you, God, and taking license with Irving Berlin and Kate Smith's signature song. God bless Livonia, our home, sweet home. God bless America, our home, sweet home. Amen.
Oh, thank you, Sister Nancy. Members of the audience, you may be seated now. Now I would like to welcome to the podium Livonia City Councilwoman Maureen Miller-Brosnan, who will introduce some of our distinguished guests this evening.
Thank you, Garrett. It is great to see everybody here. This duty is usually reserved for somebody who, if they make mistakes, it really won't matter so much. And seeing as my term ends in a few short weeks, I guess it won't matter so much. But tonight I do have a real honor and pleasure of introducing to you a distinguished group of leaders. You know, it was said by Rosalind Carter that leaders are people that take you where you want to go. But great leaders are people who take you where you don't necessarily want to go, but where you need to go. So tonight, I want to be sure to introduce as many of them as I've seen come into the room. And we'll start with Mayor Dennis Wright, City of Livonia, City Treasurer Linda Scheel, City Clerk Susan Nash, and we also have Councilman Scott Barr with us this evening and Councilman Brandon Kritzman. The other council members who are going to be inaugurated, you'll meet as we go through the evening. We also have with us the Secretary of State, Ruth Johnson. From our Livonia Public School Board of Education, Mark Johnson, no relation that we know of, Crystal Frank, and Karen Bradford. We also have with us former Mayor Jack Engebretson, former council members Joe Laura, Jim McCann, Conrad Schwartz, and John Walsh. We have with us County Commissioner Terry Marecki. I think I saw Judge Kavanaugh slip in the back of the room. Plymouth Township Supervisor Kurt Heisey, Novi City Councilman David Strout, and Catherine Heisey, Judge of the Wayne County Circuit Court as well. So we want to thank you all for being here. Your presence elevates the importance of this event.
Thank you, Councilwoman. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Garrett Wheaton. I'm a longtime friend of Laura Toy's, and I'm honored to be with you tonight as your Master of Ceremonies. Now, before we begin, just a quick housekeeping matter. I see Mayor Kirksey has not made it here yet, but he did want me to make sure everybody knew that these Kirksey 2023 bumper stickers will be available in the lobby after tonight's program. Everyone's laughing, but Mayor Wright looks a little nervous. Don't worry, sir. I told him he couldn't put any 2019 ones out. I told him, no, you can't do that. And this is what happens when you give a friend of Laura Toy's a microphone. No, but seriously, our new city council members, they have a lot of important issues facing them as they come in. For example, believe it or not every street corner in the city has a pharmacy on it yet. Shocking, I know, but it's true. No, but seriously, there's a lot of issues that we're facing. We are blessed to live in a city that has so much to offer, but our world is changing very quickly, and we can't rest on our laurels. I'm going to take a point of personal privilege right now to embarrass my brother and his wife, who are sitting in the audience. Scott and Bethany, stand up for the people. Now, congratulate Scott and Bethany, because Bethany is pregnant, and they're expecting their first child this spring. Okay, you can sit down now. Now, here are two young professionals that have recently decided to, and Bethany's a vet, by the way, if you have any pets. But they've recently purchased a home, and they've moved to Livonia. And in fact, their zip code, 48154, was recently named the second hottest real estate market in the United States of America. So we know that they are not alone in choosing our city to start and to raise a family. This council, like those who have come before it, must continue the tradition of excellence and be proactive in maintaining our city as a great place to live, to work, and to raise a family, and to continue supporting our seniors and everyone else who calls our community home. And now, before we swear in our newly elected council members, we will hear from our current mayor and city council president. Mayor Wright, would you please join us?
I thought that was my speech. Here we go. Thank you. First, I'd like to congratulate the current city council, the 32nd in our history of this great city of Livonia. Thank you for everything you've done over the past 2 years and everything we've accomplished together. I want to especially recognize now Maureen Brosnan for her great leadership over the years. Maureen, you've been a first-class act and great for our community. Next, I'd like to congratulate and welcome in the 33rd City Council, which includes Councilman Brian Meekin, Councilwoman Kathy White, Council Vice President Jim Jolly, and Council President Laura Toy. We have a lot of experience here, and I'm looking forward to working with all of them in the coming years. We've got a lot of things to do, so let's continue to make Livonia strong, keeping it the best city in Southeast Michigan. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, Mayor Wright. And now we will hear from our current city council president, Kathleen McIntyre.
Good evening. It's a privilege to be here this evening, as it has been a privilege to have served as the Livonia City Council President for the past 2 years. It was an honor to work with 6 council colleagues who are diligent, thoughtful, and make every single decision with Livonia's best interests foremost in their actions. I had the privilege and the challenge of following Maureen Miller Brosnan as City Council President. Maureen left big shoes to fill, but she has been a mentor, guide, and friend, and for that I will be forever grateful. But even more importantly, I know that the city of Livonia, our residents and our businesses, are very grateful to Maureen for her many years of service. Maureen is a true public servant who is led by her keen intellect, vast experience, integrity, and commitment to always doing what is right and best for Livonia. Maureen, you will be missed by your council colleagues and by the city you have served with honor and distinction. But we are very thankful that you've continued to share your talents by serving on Livonia's Master Plan Steering Committee. Tonight, as the mayor mentioned, 4 new council members will be sworn into office. While none of them are new to Livonia City Council, they and all of us who continue to serve on council are all new to this particular council. Again, as was mentioned, the 33rd council of the city of Livonia. And this council will face challenges, opportunities, and difficult decisions, as have all of the 32 of the councils that came before us. However, we do so with the great advantages of working with the absolute best of team of people. Mayor Dennis Wright, City Clerk Susan Nash, City Treasurer Linda Scheel, and the finest and most talented department leaders and city employees that one could find, who all work together to ensure that Livonia remains the very best community in which to live, work, and play. In closing, I would like to share one of my favorite quotes from the Bible, which I strive to live up to when executing the responsibilities with which I have been entrusted. Do nothing from rivalry or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others. Thank you, and may God continue to bless our fine city, and congratulations to everyone who will be sworn in tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Council President McIntyre. Now, I didn't want to interrupt the mayor and the city council president, but it's kind of exciting news. Apparently the president is tweeting about us, about Livonia. That's what so I'm just going to pull up the Twitter here and see what's going on, okay? Okay, here we go. The president just tweeted this. He said, Twin Peaks and Amazon, wow, all caps. Hashtag Livonia, best city in America. That's quite a compliment. Oh, he's tweeting one more time here. Let's need more pharmacies, though. That's what I was telling you guys earlier. On the, some of them it's only on 3 of the corners. He's got one more here. Kirksey 2023. The word's getting out. I'll have to let the former mayor know. And just for the record, since my boss, the Michigan Secretary of State, is sitting here, those bumper stickers are for novelty purposes only, and we will not be passing them out on city property after the event. Living in the United States, it can be easy to take for granted what seems like a simple and commonplace task of voting. But so many others in our ever smaller world do not have the right to exercise the same privilege. As Franklin Roosevelt once said, let us never forget that government is ourselves, not an alien power over us. The ultimate ruler of our democracy are the voters. And so we thank all the candidates, all who ran, all of those who supported them, who volunteered their time, who put up a yard sign, made a donation, knocked on doors. You participated in the great American experiment of democracy. As our new council members take office, may they always keep in mind the people who elected them and whom they serve. At this time, we are pleased to swear in your newly elected Livonia City Council members, and we will begin with Council Member Brian Meekin, who will be sworn in by Brendan Meekin.
I,
Brian Meekin,
hereby accept the office of a council member of the city of Livonia, Michigan.
hereby accept the office of a city council member of the city of Livonia.
I do solemnly affirm
I do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the state of Michigan,
Constitution of the state of Michigan,
and the charter of the city of Livonia,
and the charter of the city of Livonia,
and that I faithfully discharge the duties of a council member of the City of Livonia, Michigan.
that I faithfully discharge. Too many words. That I will faithfully discharge the duties of a council member of the City of Livonia
To the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability. Boy, good thing he can put up signs really well. Well, first of all, thank you everyone for coming this evening. As a council person, we can't be here without the support of our families. My wife has done an amazing job for the past 14 years as I sit on council. She is just amazing. The long nights, missing dinners when she's preparing them, she's been amazing. My daughter is the best stamper and envelope person in the whole country. You met my son Brendan already, who's an outstanding door knocker and sign person, so he does have some good qualities with him. This last council was pretty amazing. I want to thank Council President McIntyre. She was a first-term council member and had to serve as council president and did an amazing job. It was very tough, so I want to recognize her. Thank you. We also had 3 other brand-new council members, so you want to talk about a young council, this was it. I want to thank Councilman Jolly, Councilperson White, and where's our other one? Mr. Barr back in the corner there. I knew we had somebody else missing. So thank you all very much. I had a privilege of serving with you this past 2 years. But now we got to look to the future. And who better to do that with is with Council President Laura Toy. She's been around government for how many years? Too many to count. But it's going to be an exciting ride, and I look forward to it, and I wish all of you can join us in the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman Meekin. And now we will welcome Councilwoman Kathy White, who will be sworn in by Wayne County Commissioner Terry Marecki.
Okay, Kathy, raise your right hand. I
I, Kathy White,
hereby accept the office of a council member of the City of Livonia, Michigan.
hereby accept the office of a council member of the City of Livonia, Michigan.
I do solemnly affirm
I do solemnly affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and the Charter of the City of Livonia,
and the Charter of the City of Livonia,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of a council member of the City of Livonia, Michigan,
of a council member of the City of Livonia, Michigan,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability. All right, so the next time I ever get sworn in, I'm bound and determined to find somebody way shorter than me, so. Having problems with that. And I want to echo what Brian said about family. I lost one of my biggest fans this year, my dad at age 86. He passed away in October. He would be here without a doubt, so I'm missing him greatly. And as I said, he was one of my biggest fans, and he was there at the polls back in 2015, and family is everything. So after serving for 2 years, I'm honored and excited to have been given the opportunity to serve for 2 more years. The word serve is not taken lightly by any of us here. We are here to serve all of you, so please feel free to reach out to us with your concerns, ideas, suggestions, anything to make the city a better place. Like anyone, we love to hear compliments too. So if you have had a great experience with a city official, or if a city employee has gone above and beyond to help you, please let us know that too. We've been busy the last couple years, and there are several things around town that we can point to with pride. We've got Clement Circle pool enhancements. It's a big draw in the summertime in the south end of the city. For pet lovers out there, we now have our own dog park. And during my tenure, I'm a big dog lover, and I reached out to a company that I had heard was giving away PET oxygen masks to other communities, and I thought, well, what about Livonia? So they graciously agreed to give us enough PET oxygen masks for all of our rigs so that pets, in the event of smoke inhalation at a fire scene, could be helped. And we've actually used those. So we have a brand new inventory of those, and I think that's a good thing. We're getting hip. The first brewery in town has opened on Plymouth Road. For our aging population, we've got new senior apartments being built across from the police department. We continue to attract new businesses, including Amazon, Masco, and others. Long unused properties are seeing new development, such as the former Farmer Jack property on 7 Mile Road that will soon become an LA Fitness facility. We continue to partner with entities that have similar goals as ours, such as our partnership with St. Mary's Hospital to encourage a healthy Livonia. We've made our Greenleaf Commission a permanent commission so we can constantly be mindful of ways to protect the environment and to reduce our carbon footprint. We have recognized the hard work and sacrifice put in by our first responders and have approved new collective bargaining agreements to retain and attract highly qualified employees. And we've equipped our police and fire departments with state-of-the-art equipment to keep the outstanding reputation that they have in this area. And we're very proud of that. I think all the council is. We're expanding Fire Station 1. If you've driven by, it's hard to see in the dark, but we're expanding it to allow operations to function effectively for years into the future. I have this weird habit, I guess, of saving nice articles and information about the city. And I'm pleased to say my file is getting pretty big. There's always talk about how do we continue to attract new families to Livonia, and yet a new report by Realtors.com indicates that Livonia comes in second on a list of communities which attract the most attention from millennials homebuyers. As a mom of 3 millennials, all of whom graduated from Livonia Public Schools, this makes me very excited. We are among Michigan's safest community. A shout out to the police department. While we're at it, the fire department. And let's not forget our DPW workers who have helped us so much the past couple of days. So not only are we one of Michigan's safest communities, we are close to many employers and have plenty of recreational opportunities with 60 parks and the Jackie Kirksey Recreation Center. This all kind of blends with my theory, which has been supported by professional studies, that as leaders, we don't necessarily have to come up with the next fancy gimmick. If we prioritize basics, such as good schools, strong public safety, affordable, well-maintained homes, and government that properly manages its finances, we will continue to attract new residents and retain the ones who have chosen to make Livonia their home. Do we continue to have challenges? Absolutely. But I'm confident that we have the ability to overcome these challenges and keep moving forward. I'm proud to be associated with the current group of elected officials, our department heads, and our dedicated city employees. Thank you for your faith in me, and I can assure you that my decisions will continue to be made with the best interests of the city of Livonia at heart. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman White. At this time, we will welcome Council Vice President-elect Jim Jolly to the stage, who will be sworn in by Katie Jolly.
I, Jim Jolly,
Hold it. Hereby accept the office
hereby accept the office
of a council member
of a council member
of the city of Livonia, Michigan.
of the city of Livonia, Michigan.
I do solemnly affirm
I do solemnly affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and the Charter of the City of Livonia,
and the Charter of the City of Livonia,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of a council member
the duties of a council member
of the city of Livonia,
of the city of
Michigan,
Livonia, Michigan,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability. Well, thank you all for being here today. This is a little bit different than the last time I was sworn in. Last time I was sworn in, I was sitting at a council meeting, and they just picked whoever was sitting in one of the seats over there. So between the regular meeting and the study meeting, I got to come up and get sworn in by Susie Nash, and then I got to sit with them a couple minutes later. So winning is definitely a little bit better and a little bit more comforting coming into office. But, you know, for me, this is, you know, Brian and Kathy have said a lot of the things that we've done, and they've thanked a lot of the people that should be thanked. You know, sitting up on council and being here before you tonight is, for me, it's about thanks and opportunity. You know, it's being thankful for all of the people who support the city on a day-to-day basis, all the professionals who work in City Hall, all the voters who elected us, and also those people in our families who dedicate a lot of time and effort to be with us always. You know, we've had family members we were upstairs before the meeting started, and people pointed out that Brian's children were the size of my children when he started. But I will say that JD has literally been in this for his entire life, because he had his diaper changed when he was 6 weeks old outside a polling station in front of Stevenson High School. I'm not sure if that wins me votes or loses me votes, but, and I will say also, when you look at the faces when we go to a lot of these things together, almost universally, absolutely universally, the spouses of the elected officials are always better people than the people who you actually elect. And they're more likable. That's what I mean. Because it's kind of interesting when you go to these things, you see, you know, Bob Nash or, you know, Doug, and you know, these are the people who you can kind of talk to. There he is back there. And you know there's a comforting aspect there because they know what you're going through and they know what it's like at home and when you're walking away and stuff like that. So I just want to thank everybody for being here and giving us this opportunity. I'd be remiss not to thank my other family members that are here, my Aunt Jan and my Uncle Tom, who worked all day on Election Day for me 3 times now. My Uncle Bob and my Aunt Lori, and my mom. I'm an only child, so my mom and dad were forced for no other reason to put all their eggs in one basket. And I think about that every day as I think about the things that they gave up for me and the opportunities that they've given me. So I hope not to let any of you down, and I specifically hope not to let my mom down. And the last person, I just take an extra opportunity here to thank Katie. Katie is by far a better person than I am, and much more likable as well. So thank you all, and have a jolly holiday and Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Councilman Jolly. And we will now hear a few words from our special guest this evening, who we're honored to have with us, the Michigan Secretary of State, Ruth Johnson, who will then swear in our Council President-elect, Laura Toy.
Thank you, Garrett, and thank you, Livonia, for sharing Garrett with our office. First of all, I do want to thank each one of you that ran for office and are stepping forward to make Livonia, our state, and our country a better place. And I also do want to thank family members, and as we heard, it's not just the spouse, it's aunts, uncles, kids, you name it, neighbors. I'd like to thank each one of you for helping people get elected that are going to do a good job or are doing a good job. Part of being a public official is being approachable and getting things done. And when I think of that, I think of Laura Toy. We've really elected some great people in Michigan, whether they're local officials or state officials. And here's some great statistics. This is partnership, local and state. Unemployment's gone from 14.9% to 4.5%. That's great news, isn't it? Home values have gone up 60%. The gross domestic product, we were dead last in this nation. Now we're in the top 25%. And we've added almost 500,000 more jobs. So thanks to Livonia and other communities like you in the state of Michigan and the people that you've elected, they've done a great job. The Pew Center on the State calls Michigan the comeback state in the nation. So I want to thank each of you for stepping forward to serve our state and our communities. And I especially do want to thank Laura Toy, whom I'll be swearing in tonight, which is a great honor as council president. Laura and I go way back. We served in the legislature together, and she said, I can't tell you any stories, so I won't. Maybe one. She's a great public servant who's honest, hardworking, and has an open door policy for everyone. I want to congratulate Livonia for electing her. I do know when I first came down here, the township I live in, which is quite unusual to be elected from, only had one traffic light. I'm still working on parallel parking. So I came to Livonia, you guys have a lot of traffic. And Laura was behind me telling me which way to turn, and I hesitated just for a second or two, trying to figure out which right it was. And somebody gave me one of the most unfortunate hand gestures. And when he came up beside me, I could read his lips. And I said, Laura, did you see what that guy did? She goes, oh, that's how we say hi in Wayne County. Well, anyway, Livonia is a great community. I'm very proud to be here tonight. And Laura, would you come up so I can swear you in? And
Gladly.
you hang on to this. You're more important than me. I, Laura Toy, do hereby accept
I, Laura Toy, do hereby accept
the office of council member of the city of Livonia, Michigan.
the what? The office of council member of the city of Livonia, Michigan.
I do solemnly affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I solemnly affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the state of Michigan
and the Constitution of the state of Michigan
and the charter of the city of Livonia,
and the charter of the city of Livonia.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
And I will faithfully discharge the duties
of a council member of a council member of the city of Livonia, Michigan,
of the council member of the city of Livonia, Michigan,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
All right.
Thank you, Madam Secretary.
First to
Thank you.
congratulate you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming tonight.
Did you think I was going to argue with the Secretary of State that approves and looks at all our campaign reports? No way. When she wanted to get up and speak, that is. Hey, I want to just, I caught a few people, Maureen. Where is he? Mr. Brang, who's a former treasurer of the city of Redford or township of Redford. Bob, you here still? There he is. Kathy McCann, our judge of the 16th District Court, walked in as well. Kathleen. And Diane Webb, our other county commissioner in Livonia. Diane. And I also want to give a shout out to Mr. Hooper, who's here tonight. That was one of our candidates that ran with our 8 of us in the last election. Mr. Hooper, thank you for being here tonight. Denise and Sandy with the cameras, thank you very much for flashing those flashes, and thank you for volunteering your time. And my heart goes out to Jackie and, of course, Judy in our office. They do a fantastic job in organizing this. In fact, like the third day that the vote totals came in and all that happened, Judy calls me and says, Laura, you got to plan the inauguration. I said, what? She says, yeah. She says, that's your job because we don't have a mayor's, election this time. And it's funny because I was always elected with our mayor. So it was a privilege to work with you, Judy and Jackie. Thank you for all the hard work. And of course, Ruth Johnson, who I've known for years. I won't go into a lot of stories. But Ruth just lost a very dear person in her life, her mother, who was named Grandma Jenny just last week. And so I want to thank Ruth for being here. And this one's for Grandma Jenny because she was a very special person that raised some awesome people. And thank you, Ruth. God bless you. I want to also thank a lot of people that put this together tonight, and that's my friend Joyce from Bentley High School. She plays the harp, and I want you to meet Kathy over there that also plays the harp, and it's quite a talent. Hazelette, who works with me in human sex trafficking and does a fabulous job with Joyce. I saw Joyce walk in as well, the other Joyce Askett. Hi, Joyce. And our color guard, our Livonia color guard, fantastic people. Thank you guys so much. Christopher, who did the pledge, and our council members, Maureen Miller-Brosnan, Scott Barr, and Brandon Kritzman, who you're going to hear from very shortly. Great, very honorable people. I also want to take the opportunity to thank Councilwoman Brosnan for her outstanding record of community and public service for her many years. And I remember when Maureen was first appointed to the council, and just a few years ago, Maureen, that was, wasn't it? And we're going to miss you in your experience. Thank you, Maureen, for all those many good years. Thank you very much. And, you know, I'm so proud tonight, and, you know, to have my sister here, my sister Carol Day, and also my business partner of 40 years in March on Plymouth Road, of all roads, right? 40 years, our co-owner of Cardwell Florist. And I'd like to introduce some of our toy team as well. And if you'll just raise your hands, toy team. There are a lot of shy people that help me out. Oh, well. Yeah, 3 of us got me elected, thanks. Anyhow, but a big thank you to all of you. Oh, well. I'm honored to be returning to Livonia as your council president, and I want to thank particularly our outgoing council president McIntyre. Thank you very much for all your hard work and leadership. Tough act to follow, too, as well, and also, this guy was, like, really young. Brian Meekin says, we got to get this guy on the city council. Brandon Kritzman, what an outstanding person, what an outstanding job he does. Thanks. Thanks for being here. And then, of course, our mayor, Dennis Wright, who works every day in his administration so hard to make this city such a great city. Thank you, Mayor, so much for all you do. I look forward to working with leaders amongst our very talented council, our county, our state, our federal level as well, our education and our business people. Many of you are here tonight. Thank you for coming in this, you know, little light snow we had. And I have already begun to work with some of my council colleagues to reform and restructure our committees, which we have not been done since I was elected president back about 10 years ago. So we want to bring that up to some current needs and our new economy that we're facing. As all of you know, the experts say that the future, and even right now, we will see a shift in what drives communities' economic success. In the past, we competed for companies, right? And in the future, guess who we're going to compete for? People. And it will be those people who, in turn, will attract those businesses and keep them going. We find ourselves living in a time of technology, and society is moving at a most unthinkable fast pace, fast speed. But we work and we strive to keep that pace, both as individuals and as a community. I am reminded of our Livonia city motto. Do you know what it is? Families first. Very good, First Lady. Our First Lady knew that. That's great. And in everything we do, we must focus on how it affects people, from our valued seniors to our working moms and dads with young children, and all who call Livonia home. We must live up to the standards they have come to expect from our city, that it often is cited as one of the very best places, listen to this, Secretary of State, in our great nation to live. They expect their tax dollars to be spent wisely, to have superb public safety, good schools, drivable roads, and to have excellent opportunities for recreation, culture, and faith. My goal as your council president is for your city council to work collaboratively with Livonia residents, to seek their input, visit their neighborhoods, and be good stewards of their trust that they have placed in us to care for their community. Working with the administration and our city departments who are on the front line every day, where they are truly, we have outstanding city employees that help people in so many ways every day, that our city council must take a leadership in exploring new and innovative approaches and forward thinking. As Benjamin Franklin said, if it's better is possible, then good is not enough. Working together in a proactive way to accomplish our goals is what will make our city great. I'm so proud to call this city my home and to be a part of this vibrant community. I have lived in Livonia since I've been 4 years old, now that I'm 39. My dad was number 6 on the police department, and I graduated from Bentley High School, where the Livonia Community Recreation Center now sits. I started a business, Cardwell Florist, with my business partner, Colleen, many years ago. And we were called two little girls in a flower shop would never make it. Well, 40 years later, here we are. And in many different capacities, as a volunteer and as a elected representative. Like so many of our residents, there is no place I would rather be. And I feel I have more to give to help make our city even better. Not only for those like me who have called Livonia their home for many years, but also for a new generation of residents who are moving to Livonia for all that it has to offer and a choice to put their families first. Please join us in making and continuing great things to happen. And always be mindful that this is your city. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Council President-elect Toy. At this time, I'm going to ask everyone to again stand, and we're going to welcome Council Vice President Brandon Kritzman to deliver the benediction.
Lord, as we prepare to close this evening, let us remember a few parting thoughts. We gathered here tonight to celebrate a beginning, a new chapter in the story of council's service to the city, a new chapter in the story of each of these public servants, a new chapter in the history of the city of Livonia. We are grateful, though, that we have had the benefit of building on the successes and lessons of those who have come before us and paved the way to where we are today. And while I talk of starting a chapter for each of those honored today, let us not forget that this story is not about council, but about our community. The city of Livonia, its residents and business community are truly unique and a blessing to each of us. Let us not forget that we have been elected by the community to fulfill a duty, and that duty is to always put the city of Livonia in the best possible position to be successful. Each and every meeting, each and every decision, each and every interaction that we have with residents, businesses in our community, visitors of all sorts, is an opportunity to renew our commitment to serving the city in the greatest measure possible. Whether it's serving our community as an elected leader or in a volunteer position, in its employ, or as friends, family, and neighbors, all of us ask, Lord, that you give us all the wisdom, patience, and integrity to keep Livonia the special community that it is today, that we respectfully and constructively disagree, but forgive quickly and easily, that we trust and support each other in good faith and patience, and that we continue to grow as examples for our children and our neighbors. For this we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Councilman Kritzman. And now, as Council President Troy said, this is your city. We ask that you remain standing and join Councilman Scott Barr and his quartet as they lead us in This Land is Our Land.
So you guys have to help us out. That's what Laura wanted, okay? And I'd be remiss not to mention that our bass, President Toy, is a graduate of Bentley High School. So.
81. What about same year?
We're all four Livonia residents.
Yeah, you'll know when to come in.
My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the Pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. Dum, dum, this land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Oh, this land was made for you and me. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me a golden valley. Oh, this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Oh, this land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, to the redwood forest, to the Gulf Stream waters. Oh, this land was made for you and me. Livonia was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Author of liberty, to thee we sing. Long may our land be bright with freedom's holy light. Protect us by thy might, great God, our King.
If you can please remain standing as the Livonia Police Honor Guard will now retire the colors. Thank you to everyone for joining us this evening. Please join us in the lobby for refreshments. Merry Christmas, and please drive safely. Thank you.